be good most of the time. The whole idea of fitness is to fit it in with a healthy lifestyle. So we got some cookies. And so my rule of thumb is, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Just got back from the gym with my brother and we stopped by for a grocery haul. We had nothing in the refrigerator. So we're gonna be showing you all of the essentials that we get with a fun little few items as well that we eat to stay lean, build muscle, have energy, feel good, and for overall total body health. And so just to kick it off, we're just gonna start with the essentials. Of course, nowadays, we've got this option for Fairlife milk. This is a great option for getting in tons of protein, and we got the non-fat, so the fat-free version. It's all protein. Just to hit up the macros real quick, 80 calories, 13 grams of protein. And I'm gonna explain everything else protein-wise here too. We also have good healthy fats and carbs as well, but for protein, the way that I like to do this to know if it's a high protein item or high protein food source is that I take the calories, divide it by 10, and I want that number of protein to be higher. And so actually, I'm surprised no one has really come up with this. All like the fitness YouTube that I kind of watch or seen here and there, no one really talks about that sort of ratio. Maybe it's something I'll coin, I guess it's the protein ratio. But anyway, so if it's 80 calories, you just divide it by 10, so take away the 0, it's 8. And we want the protein to be higher than 8. So we have 13 grams of protein. It's a high protein source right there, all right? And of course, if you want the flavor, because we are in winter, it's a little bit of bulk season, you can add in the chocolate version. This is just barely missing that ratio, 140 calories, chop off the 0 there, it's divided by 10, it's 13 grams, so just below. It's still a good protein source. Obviously, it's got a bunch more sugar because it's chocolate, but do a little half-half, mixy, good to go. So that's just our milk. Quick way to slam in some protein with every meal. Let's move on to, I guess just to start off, it is cold season, it's winter. People are getting cold. Vitamin C is really good for that, and then just got some cold and flu. That's not the essentials, that's kind of just like it's winter time, just to make sure we're staying healthy and keeping that vibe. That's about a fall, so we'll just jump in here, stick with the dairy side of it. We got some cheese sticks. Typically you can go with some light cheese stick, or you can find fat-free cheese sticks, but we just went with the full normal. Again, we're having a little bit of extra calories, so we can afford it. We're in like a slight little bit of a bulk, trying to gain a little bit of a weight. If you're cutting, just find the lower calorie versions. So going back to the same protein ratio, 80 calories, chop it off, right? Divided by 10, it's gonna be 8, so that's 7 grams. So just below that ratio, still high protein, but of course, you get the fat-free version or the low-fat skim milk version of this, you're gonna hit that protein ratio fine. This is close enough for the purposes of what me and my brother are trying to do for our goals right now. So that's another dairy source as well. Let's keep up with the dairy. We're gonna go with, of course, a staple in the diet, the Greek yogurt. So this is gonna be our Dannon Oikos 000, 0 carbs, 0 fat, everything. So just straight protein pretty much. We can see that same protein ratio, 100 calories, chop off the 0 at the end. We want it to be higher than 10 grams. This has 17 grams of protein. That's what we're looking for. This is a great high protein item, slim, highly packed with protein. So that's gonna be a great option for us here. We got 2 of these because we need a lot. So that's a good way to do it that way. Any more dairy products? Parmesan cheese, I guess you can count that. Honestly, in terms of flavoring, if you're cooking pastas, things like that, this is just a great quick ingredient to flavor things up without it adding calories. For 2 teaspoons, it's 20 calories. You can cook a whole like bulk meal and just add in like, I don't know, 10 teaspoons for an extra 100 calories for the whole week pretty much whenever you're cooking your pastas. Simple way to add in some flavor with very little calories added to each meal. No more dairy, but let's move on to, of course, egg whites and eggs. So again, right now we're in a little bit of a bulk, a lean bulk, so we still have the egg whites. This is straight protein, literally 0s across the board and just all protein. If you really want to look at the ratio again, just to keep going, divide this by 10, that'd be 2.5. You want it to be higher than 2.5. This is 5 grams of protein. So very high protein, it's literally all protein right there. Liquid protein. And then of course, whole eggs. Typically right now, I'm adding in a few whole eggs and a little bit of egg whites. As you start to cut, you can just wane off the whole eggs and shift more into egg whites. Save some calories that way, but for now, got no problem with adding in good healthy fats here from your white sources. If you're someone that is more susceptible to saturated fat, some like plaquing or some atherosclerotic risk, things like that, if you really want to get detailed into all the health and fitness stuff that we have to offer, like the health stuff, maybe whole eggs aren't your best fats option, but if that is the case, we got another healthy fat option for you. Avocados, a classic. So this is simply just a fat source. This really isn't going for any proteins, but we still need healthy fats in our diet. If you're only eating protein and carbs and you're really limiting the fats, what you'll notice is that your hormone levels will be unbalanced. Hormone, testosterone, estrogen, they come from fat sources. It's a breakdown from cholesterol as its main steroid function. So obviously testosterone and estrogen are steroids that are naturally in our body, unless you're using exogenously, which we're not, shout out. But anyways, long story short, basically saying you need healthy fats in your diet coming from somewhere. If you're someone that, you can't really have too much saturated fats, you have that like high blood pressure risk, go with something like avocados. To eat the avocados, we got some natural sourdough bread here. We just bought this from the store. Sometimes we bake it ourselves, all natural. Sometimes we just buy the most natural we can find from the store. We just like to look for something here that is pretty much low ingredients, and so we don't want too many like processed enzymes and all that BS that comes from some bread. So we'll get the most natural here. It's not anything that's low calorie. Again, we're in like a slight little bulk. If it's something where you're starting to cut, you can just switch to a lower calorie bread. We got 647 bread, that's 40 calories a slice. This is gonna be 140 a slice, but one slice, a little bit of avocado. It's a good way to start the day, along with our eggs and egg whites. That's a good breakfast right there, all right? Now on to the good stuff. So the main like protein packed stuff that we're looking for throughout the day are meats. And so we actually don't have any red meats here right now. We have some steak already still in the freezer, so we didn't actually go need to buy it. I'm not too big of a red meat guy myself. I have a little bit of a susceptibility to that saturated fats we were talking about from before. So that's why I have my whole eggs, like the egg yolks as a part of that from that saturated fat source. But I kind of stay away a little bit from red meat. It really depends on who you are and how you operate in terms of what your body wants to do. My brother can have a bunch of red meat, so they got the steak options. But of course, we're gonna find other ways to get in some protein. So this right here, I'm gonna show you my 2 little hacks if you wanna pack in some protein and you're not a little baby. This is gonna be some chicken gizzards. And so really, really cheap. We're talking like $1 a pound right here. You can also get liver, any sort of the gizzards. It's 20 grams of protein and 110 calories. So the same thing if we're looking at the protein ratio, 110 divided that by 10, we want it to be 11 grams of protein or more. It's 20, packed with protein, gizzards. It's the scraps. Most people don't eat it. It's really cheap. If you're on a budget like I am, and you don't want to spend a lot of money on this inflation BS, then go with some chicken gizzards. Obviously, I'm not eating just straight chicken gizzards. I'm gonna be mixing that in with some chicken meat. So this right here is just chicken thighs. You can go chicken breast. Again, as we're shifting into our cut, we'll transition from chicken thighs to chicken breast just because it's slightly lower calories. Although we did find the boneless, skinless version, so we're gonna take away a lot of that fat, the extra calories. Looking at our protein again, we have 120 calories. Divide that by 10, that's 12. We want protein to be higher than 12 grams, it's 19 grams. So we got that good high protein food source right there and still quite low in fats. So we got 2 packages of our chicken thighs here. Again, you do chicken breast, up to you. We swap whatever we're feeling for the day or for the week. And then the gizzards, of course. And then another option here, I am a fan of just finding whatever's on sale that is just packed with protein. This right here, I have actually never gotten this before, but this is gonna be catfish nuggets. And so the nuggets are not like fried or braised with breading. The nuggets just basically means fillets. So this is just catfish right here. It's $1.99 a pound. Just for reference here, the gizzards of course were like $1 a pound, but the chicken thighs we're looking at $3.29 a pound. So I swapped in a package of the chicken thighs here for this catfish. It's like a fish source. If you're pescatarian, it's a great option to do that as well. And yeah, it's just packed with protein. Great fish source of protein here, $6 for 3 pounds. That's what I'm talking about, $1.99 a pound. That was a good find. So we'll find a way to cook that. Find any sort of protein that works best for you. Here, we got our chicken breast. I'm just using the frozen version because it was cheaper. The chicken breast that was just like fresh was way too expensive. It's cheaper, it's frozen. All you gotta do is thaw it out and cook it. It's all the same, it's protein. I think everybody kind of knows at this point, boneless, skinless, chicken breast, pretty much all protein, straight protein. So that's gonna be damn near the same as the chicken thighs. And that's it. That's actually the full food source. So yeah, we've got some, we also have rice. We didn't need to actually get rice. So we got rice in there, so that's gonna be another healthy carb source. So for our carb sources, we've got some breads. There's potatoes already here as well, so we didn't need to buy that. So potatoes and rices. And then pretty much we're gonna center that around like our workout window for the most part. And then for our protein sources, that's pretty much what we try to focus on, and then add in a little bit of our fats. So just to support healthy hormones, we got our avocados, we've got our whole eggs right here, a little bit of the fats that are in the cheeses as well. But for the most part, everything really does kind of center around finding good high protein food sources, and this is kind of the way that we do it. It makes great meals. You can just use seasonings and cook everything that has great recipes. If you want any great recipes, we actually have a cookbook that we'll link down in the description. It'll include all of these ingredients and then even a new one that we might come out with catfish. So yeah, it's pretty much the whole food haul. And then of course, the last fun ingredient here, not ingredient, but be good most of the time. The whole idea of fitness is to fit it in with a healthy lifestyle. So I got some cookies. And so my rule of thumb is, I go to the grocery store probably like once a week, and just as reference too. So all of this came out to $147 for 2 people for the week. And so you're looking at $70 a week for all of this, which I think, you know, during these times is actually quite good. I like to get the cheapest options, bulking on a budget, do what we can. So anyways, back to the story. My philosophy is I go to the store like once a week, right? I get all of the clean ingredients that I really want, and then I'm allowed one item that I'm feeling for a little sweetness or a little cheap throughout the day or throughout the week. And so we ended up going with some chocolate chunk pecan cookies. That's just this treat of the week. Of course, we're allotting a lot of our calories because we're in a slight little bulk for the cookies. If you're deeper into a cut and you really want to get shredded and you're like, no, I don't want any of it, blah, 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 then don't get the cookies. It's fine. But I noticed that if I restrict myself, I'm probably gonna start to crave the food items. So if we can find a way to make these cookies fit into our diet, that's the way to do it. If you guys want help learning how to do that, apply for coaching. I can help show you. I can still eat cookies and achieve all my goals regardless. So we'll put that application link down in the description as well, along with our free cookbook, so you feel free to download that. Include all these ingredients, cook some good foods, enjoy what you're eating, hit all of your goals, make fitness part of your lifestyle. It doesn't need to be something too crazy. I just have fun with it. So